My name is Earl Price. 2002, I had overdose of Klonopin seizure medication and sharing my story with the world. God, He given me voices, telling my misdirect son, and try my best to express to people how the patterns of my mother born April 3rd, my father born October 27th, Bible pages keep going back and forth. Before COV occurred, I was in a battle in home in Palmdale. I seen spirits and heard voices with God. It formed stars. Formed a cross and stars. There was a voice from earthquakes. It made it known that it was the creator in a battle with something in my body. There was a point of time I was taking these ecstasy pills in the home and I had this battle. And then I seen the same shadow of how God has his hand on his chin. There was a person named Manuel in jail. He had his hand on his chin just like God. He had the God spirit in him. He was kind of surprised when I awoke. There was blankets over my body and there was empty food trays. He told me that he was telling inmates not to throw my dead body away. I met a lady here at a shelter who she said they were trying to frame him as the one giving me the pills, and that's not true. She indicated to me she was on the phone with the person and she was telling him to do the correct thing. It was a dark-skinned gentleman who had gave me some pills. I overdosed off Klonopin, seizure pills. Um, this is the lady here who knows about the incident. She's kind of shy upon speaking upon it, but what I'm saying, is it true?
My name is Keisha Denise Campbell Ali Jackson.
Thank you for sharing
I am
this.
not shy about speaking about this. I spoke to a very good friend of mine that we grew up together. He told me at the time that he was in fear of his safety, that he was being framed and set up as to his part or his position in giving another fellow resident of the establishment they were all at some unauthorized pills. Now, whether the organization or institution run these scams all the time, we do not know. But one thing we do know is that um, the group or those that organized this scam did visit Atlantic Records and tried to switch his royalties and named him and blamed him for the unfortunate incident that happened to Mr. Price.
So you was on the phone with him during the time I was dead,
On the phone.
and I was
On the
unresponsive.
phone, and he said that they were trying to dispose of your body. I said, whatever you got to do, try to get them not to do that because more likely than not, he will wake back up. And that's it.
So I was really dead for 3 days, and you can confirm that, right? I was
I can
unresponsive.
confirm that you were unresponsive for 3 days,
Thank you.
if not more. But at that time, it was 3 days that I knew about.
And these are the same posts I've been putting on the YouTube, trying to get my family understanding and closure. And thank you for having the boldness to do the correct thing. Okay, because I've been getting voices with God daily now, wind, hail, sleet, earthquakes. So this is very important. I've been gave links to mental health. People that get these voices. At some point, I had negative subconscious and drained energy, and I went through abnormal situations before and after. I was woken up to even be put in jail. I didn't want to break in a home next door to where this person, the police said he was already being watched, Kevin Lewis, and he did that to get favor for the same situations, a record deal. When I went to jail, he got married in a blue suit. I guess he thought I was affiliated with Being Blood or Crip, and I've done songs saying this and that over the years, but I'm not affiliated with any gangs. But the harsh reality of it is, yes, I was really dead. I took the pills, my jaw sweated, and I could not breathe. Had a reverse breathing effect, and I fell to my bunk. I told the person I'm gonna die. I had food in my hand, a food tray. When I woke up, there was blankets around my bunk. There was about a dozen food trays. There was a person in Palmdale before COV occurred. They had a food tray, and I went to LPCC church. He said, maybe God's trying to work with you right now. So they were already studying me. There's people that already know. They kind of did it a different way on the streets, proving my death. We're at a shelter here in Lancaster, and this is how I met this lady months and months ago. We had communicated about my incident being dead. So the reality of it is, God has us here for a reason to share this story.
And I have also provided this information on numerous occasions
Yeah, we've.
and previous lawsuits as well. Thank you.
Oh, you said something about there was a police. Police knew about it because police have never talked to me about this incident.
Oh,
So this is another situation. So the police
no,
were
it's
involved.
the same situation. Because I filed the police report about them trying to change his royalties.
But you said something about the police was involved about my death too. When I first talked to you, you said somehow the police
They
were
had to be
trying
involved.
they were trying to put a case on people or something like that. You said
They were trying to
they have never approached me.
implicate. No, they tried to implicate Manuel Jr.
Yeah,
and place him as the perpetrator who supposedly gave you the illegal
I'm
substance.
telling you, he was not the person that gave me
Okay, but
Klonopin.
I'm just saying this is
But
what
you said so,
this is
yeah,
what law
yeah.
enforcement had conveyed. That
They have
that's
not
who
even
it
talked to me
was,
about it.
and without any judge, jury, or any evidence, they utilized just that tidbit of knowledge
Right.
of statements, and went on and tried to take, forfeit his royalties from intellectual properties that he owns.
I have several people approach me on the streets getting me into the same activities of things I don't want to go through. Last question, you said something about there was people on camera, and someone was asking for a trash can. They were caught on
Yeah,
camera or something
and
like that.
that is what came out. And see, that's why I said there are numerous cases that this is already attached to, and it was dealing with his intellectual property rights.
So as
I had to subpoena those records. I subpoenaed the records, and
yeah,
it showed who was going in and out of the cell, where the location was, who had direct contact for that time
yeah,
period.
it was the old LA County Jail. Thank you for sharing that, but unfortunately, police never approached me out.
Well, from what I understood, and through the court records and through the subpoenas, it was for the reception center where they send everyone before they send them to whatever program or whatever they're going to.
My
Whatever they're
yeah,
going to, they all get picked up and then they go there and they disperse to whatever.
yeah.
You know.
My situation. This has happened in old LA County. I believe Manuel came down from prison. Um, and he was in county jail. When I spoke with him after I woke from death, he said he knew Flossie P and Bones Salone, the guy that got run over by Suge Knight. He said Bill Cosby had them doing acting in prison under the Black Tie Foundation. Then he brought up a program called Prodigal Youth.
Yes.
What do you know about Prodigal Youth program?
Well,
Because to me that is a sham. It's part of the sham. Prodigal youth means wasted youth. That's what he was saying. I asked Manuel,
yeah.
what does prodigal youth mean? It means when kids are bad and you're prodigal. But I was put in jail because the person woke me up to break in a house next door in Inglewood, but he was already at that location. I was at his house sleep. And the police, when I went to jail, they said he was already being watched. I told them, hey, I don't know anything, la da da. I pretended it was just me. They said, look, man, we already know this person's been doing criminal activity in the area way before you was even living with him. He was at this house.
So he was a plant.
Yeah, because he came from Georgia. He got somebody else killed in Georgia and got tattoos named Poot Dog. And then he joined Insane Crip. I already warned the Insanes about I. Joe, Kevin Lewis. Every time you ask him what happened with Poot Dog, he keeps saying, oh, it's my homie, something happened. But the harsh reality of it is, it was an odd coincidence. My grandmother worked at a hospital that his stepfather worked at. So when I'm living with them, his stepfather worked for the same hospital my grandma. And so something was going on in this situation. But every day his energy was, hey, let's go hit it late, do wrong. I'm asking Flossie P for CDs. I got fired from a job at Schwick Moving and Storage in Tustin, where the person that gave me the job, him and his brothers in the garage, they stole bullets. So after that, I ended up staying with Kevin Lewis and then selling CDs. And every time I'm being woke up violently, hey man, let's go hit a lick and crime and got into
the
stuff.
only thing I can say about this, okay, whether you're selling CDs legally or not, whatever, that was probably more of a setup for the whole thing because they probably didn't have the license to be allowing you to sell it.
What?
So that's what I'm saying. So then the next thing is what I heard was Manuel was up at the reception center because he was waiting on an appeal. Then all of a sudden they found out when he called me and told me about you being unresponsive in the cell. He then said, then we contacted his attorney to file an emergency petition on his behalf. They moved him to LA County. Everybody that was in that cell and on that cell block ended up going back to LA County jail. I do remember that part.
This occurred in LA County jail.
Yeah, well, I'm saying from what I know.
So maybe it's two different incidents when they try to.
No, when he called me on the phone, he was up there at the reception center because he was waiting on his appeal. His case was in the circuit court of California. It was there. So he was waiting to get an answer any day. So when he got back there to the county jail, he was only there for like maybe 7 days, and then he was gone. He was out. So that's what I remember.
Yeah, because the person that I was incarcerated behind, named I Joe, he had a girlfriend from Glenwood Neighborhood Crip, and I had just left that gang as a kid. I didn't do any drive-by shootings and none of that. I left them, but over the years, Neighborhood Crip's been playing jail games. I had a Do-Rock Crip playing jail game. Yeah, I had inmates, but I had inmates.
It's just a bunch of local people that live there, and a lot of them have been involved with the mortgage scams and credit profile thefts of Glenwood residents. So only thing they're doing now is feeding people.
Well, see, this is the situation. We are in jail. They spit and piss in my food because I don't want to claim living neighborhood crip. But the harsh reality of it, I met her months ago, and it took a while to convince her to do this documentary. I appreciate it. There's some kind of mixed understanding upon reception, and this happened in LA County, old LA County Jail, the water heater room, in 2002. I am the person who was battling with God, voices and spiritual elements that was proven to have control of not only just my life in the battle, but many others. I grew up in biblical patterns, and God keep telling me, over and over and over to humble myself. And I open Bible pages and they keep turning to just the reality of my history, who I am. This is like a deja vu. When I died, I couldn't breathe. My jaw sweated. I woke up and it felt like a deja vu. It was an echo. And I had blankets around my bed. And then I felt like I was in heaven. Then I thought I was in a casket. Then I heard people talking. And I got up and like, hey, what the fuck y'all do to me, man? Whoop. And then that's when I see Manuel, his hands was like this and his eyes was like this. And I've been seeing the Spirit of God with his shadow and like this. And I've seen it in the Been Help book. So it's very important that we had opportunity to communicate, share this story. Important spirit of truth. What I went through is not a lie. So hopefully people understand. I was really dead for 3 days. I wasn't in a coma or anything else. God bless the dead spiritual living. And thank you for sharing your story. Blessings, blessings.